In this video, we will be looking specifically at social factors and how they may impact one's talent development and journey to the top. Firstly, we need to understand what social factors are exactly. Social factors can be broken down and described as variables that are often out of the individual's realm of control, as described by Bailey and Morley 2006. One example to use would be the socio-economic status of the individual or individual's parents or family. Rowley 1992 carried out research which explains that as individuals progress through talent pathway systems, things such as cost increase in amount. The requirement to purchase better equipment in some sports, alongside additional travel and competition costs, can become detrimental to athletes. Ultimately, it is the family's responsibility and sometimes burden to meet this socio-economic need to fulfill their children's potential. However, this is not always feasible, and in many cases it is impossible. Inevitably, if the financial backing is not available, then the family and athlete may have no option but to drop out. To coincide with this, Perleth and Monk's 2000 follow up on the point that inadequate or sometimes inappropriate social factors can lead to the loss of talent development. A question arises through defining and uncovering social factors in talent development. How talent pathways account for such social factors when selecting and developing these gifted young athletes. Hume 2000 describes how many individuals are identified and defined as gifted and talented during young adolescence. However, in majority, if not most cases, the athletes do not reach the elite level. Bernal, Lorenzo and Saiz 2019 mentioned in their research how talent pathways and development programs fail to create conditions which can develop a wide variety of skills, due to the emphasis on performance results. This research in context with social factors raises the issue that focusing on performance alone fails to account for the vast number of social components in which talent development can be impacted. Furthermore, Richardson, Relvas and Littlewood 2013 explained in their research how football has been known to base their primary focus on the physical, technical and tactical attributes, often neglecting social and psychological components. Focusing on performance alone has the potential to disregard factors such as financial background, family support, sibling guidance or even the area in which they live and go to school. Bloom 1985 states how biological factors cannot be the only component influencing one's selection and resulting progression into talent pathways. In the research carried out, he uncovered through strong evidence that regardless of the talent or ability of an individual, if the social support through encouragement, nurture, education, financial backing and general support is neglected, then elite level abilities may not be capable to be attained. Further evidence to this point, Stewart 2015 concluded from their research carried out that parents who understood their girls' behaviours and traits and an abundance of social support were able to respond in good time to their girls' distress. Parents who weren't there in social support can run the risk of damaging the talented athlete, ultimately halting them in their pathway to excellence by not being able to respond to this distress. However, social support can require a vast amount of time, for example, travelling across the country to attend competitions, training, especially in a high performance environment, as Lee et al. 2014 described. Additionally, K2000 explains how children are increasingly likely to achieve higher levels of abilities and perceived success if they come from a certain type of family background. Furthermore, K2000 explains the social change in recent times, such as the development of new employment expectations. The employment of men and women across economically advanced nations has changed the perception, and a new way of family life has to adapt alongside these changes. This can have a social impact on children's participation in sport. The parents' spare time in which they are pressurised to take the children to sports may decrease. Ultimately, in some cases, forcing young athletes to pull out of the talent pathway and potentially even the sport. Tying this video together, We have uncovered the critical and evidently sometimes unfortunate importance of the social components of an individual's life, which can impact one's career and life pathway no matter the ability. It is the role of the talent pathway employees to not only identify these potential threats and even sometimes bonuses, but to create circumstances which understand and potentially intervene to ultimately avoid losing talent. Gray in 2009 states that one cannot fully comprehend a student's motivation to succeed without understanding their relationship with others. Without the understanding of one's social environment in terms of parents, siblings, carers, location and socio-economic status, it is almost impossible to understand the bigger picture in terms of long-term development. Developing elite athletes can have similarities to baking a cake. It takes a wide variety of ingredients, placed at the correct time, under the correct circumstances to create the finished article. Bailey and Morley 2006 explain how it's clear that talent isn't produced on giftedness alone, and one's development is not decided from a young age or from one performance. Rather, a wide range of variables, specifically in this context, social variables, play a crucial role in one's future.